Hi, I'm
Hi.
Shunsuke Ochiai, and this is World Insight Interview. Today we have Marielle joining us today. So, welcome, Marielle.
Okay, hello. Thank you so much for having me. And
Mhm.
I'm very excited to have this interview with you. And thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, did I pronounce your name correctly in first place?
So, yes, and Marielle is fine.
Mhm.
It's really all right. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
where are you at right now?
So right now, I'm living here in Okayama, which
Mhm.
is quite far from Tokyo. But this city is really peaceful, and we are really rich when it comes to Japanese culture. And in fact, I know that there are very few tourists who know about the city.
Mhm.
So I definitely invite everyone to visit and explore and escape the crowded cities that is you know,
Yes.
especially this spring.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
Okayama is very, I think, in my knowledge, if people like, Japanese old history, that's where I think that's the area where Musashi Miyamoto Musashi is from,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. I
Yeah.
heard. Yeah. And Okayama is also probably known for the Momotaro. Can you
Mm-hmm.
say Momotaro?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like, if you visit Okayama and you get off the Okayama station, Momotaro statue is going to greet you, welcoming the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so, Mario, you are currently traveling all over Japan and, introducing our culture through your blog, website, Instagram. So tell us what you do.
Okay, so right now I teach English on my regular days. So yeah, I teach English from Tuesday to Saturday, and then on my day off, so Sunday and Monday, and on my holidays, I would often visit around and explore, especially those seasonal stuff. And I often travel around solo, so I would bring my camera and my tripod and find something different and hopefully inspire everyone to explore lesser known places in Japan. Especially now, the over tourism is a big problem. So hopefully, I would share a lot of that on my socials. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so when did you start doing this? When did you start like having taking interest?
Oh, okay. So my family really likes to travel around ever since we've moved here in Japan. So I've been living in Japan for 15 years this year,
Mhm.
so it's quite long. But when I actually started traveling was around by the time when I graduated. So I finished my studies in Japan,
Mhm.
and then I started traveling, exploring around, and I actually started exploring Starbucks
Exploring
branches.
Starbucks around
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. So I was so into Starbucks. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna visit every stores.
Mhm.
Then, uh, I think it's because of the pandemic. Like, we couldn't go out. We couldn't really go anywhere. And then that's when I, kind of realized. Like one day I was like, yeah. So we cannot really go anywhere. We cannot really explore around. So I realized that I have been to quite a lot of prefectures already. Then I started revisiting them and then hitting the places that I have never been to. And then last year, around December, I finally finished all 47 prefectures.
47 prefectures. Wow.
An
So
amazing journey.
so what was the span, like 3 to 4 years? How long did it take?
Um, yeah, like for example, it's really difficult to say like how long it took me to conquer all prefectures, but like just like in a year, the previous year, I went to like 35 prefectures.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically, if I'm not working full time, I could have done it in like a year or like a year and a half. Yeah.
What? was your like most, it's probably really hard to say. So like could you name like several parts of Japan that you really want to like introduce or recommend?
Oh, okay. So one of those I would definitely recommend is Aomori.
Aomori. Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, like Aomori is in the northern part of Japan, and you might be surprised. Like the visitors might be surprised that dialect is pretty different. So when I went there for the first time, I was really shocked. Like I couldn't understand anything. I couldn't pick up any words.
Oh, they're dialogues.
Dialect, yeah, like
Dialect.
their way they speak, and then but I really appreciate their hospitality there. Like the locals were very nice. They're very open to help you out, and that is one of the things that I love about Aomori, aside from their seafood and apples. Oh yeah, I love their
So,
apples.
so yeah, Aomori is very well known for their seafood, apples, and I believe garlic as well, and yeah, and many Japanese sake.
Yeah, sake, yeah. And in summer, they're also very popular with Nebuta, so which is one
Oh
of the
yeah.
great festivals in Tohoku area, in Tohoku region.
Mhm.
So it's a definitely must. And of course, if I would be able to uh, tell people about other places in Japan, I would definitely recommend visiting Okayama, of course. I
Okay.
love Okayama. It's really peaceful, and as well as Kagawa,
Hmm.
where I grew up. Yes.
Oh, Kagawa, you grew up in Kagawa. Kagawa is very well known for having very good udon.
Yes, udon.
Like
We have a lot of udon. So definitely if you're going to ask me if I'm going to choose ramen or udon, it's definitely udon.
udon in Kagawa. Yeah, I would
And
love to go.
have you ever been to Kagawa?
I've been to Kagawa like once, Takamatsu, like very long time ago. But yeah. And also, so people would love to know how started to get all the followers. You have many followers on your Instagram and, like when did that start taking off?
Oh, so I think it started taking off probably around 2 years ago now.
Mhm.
So it was really tricky and difficult at first because you also have to find your niche and what you're good at.
Mhm.
And it started taking off last year. Sorry, 2 years ago around spring. So
Mhm.
I was traveling around Japan and sharing these sakura content, like what you could do, like the cafes that you could hit, and like lesser known sakura places. And then at the time, I only had like 1,200 followers, and
Mhm.
it blew up to like 20K followers, which was like,
Wow.
yeah, it was mind blowing at the time. And then yeah, like even now, I would say like it was one of the biggest, or like, yeah, the biggest moment that
Mhm.
happened on my Instagram account.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course, right now there's a lot of, I would say, journey in every content creator, and I would say, yeah, it's still different and
Mhm.
memorable to me. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So you started to like pick up the places where the secret sakura places and the sakura season's about to begin. Yeah, do you have one that you really want to recommend to our viewers?
Mm-hmm. So of course, if I could recommend something, especially if you're around in Tokyo, I definitely recommend going around Gunma. Gunma.
Gunma. Okay.
Yeah, and it has a really nice place where you can enjoy sakura, and then you don't really have to worry about the crowds. And another place is in Saitama.
Saitama.
Saitama
Okay.
has a lot of places to visit when it comes to this season. Hmm.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Gunma and Saitama. They're both
Yes.
accessible from Tokyo. It's about hour and a half, maybe two, to go to Gunma by
Yes.
train.
Mm-hmm.
Um, some areas they do have bullet train running to
Mm-hmm.
Saitama and Gunma. So yeah, that's a very good place to go. And Mariel, you also travel around the world as well, like I
Yeah.
saw on your and yeah, where were the places that you went?
Okay, so my Instagram journey actually started from traveling to Southeast Asia as a solo female traveler. And I started traveling. So I started to have this goal to finish Southeast Asia first. So I have been to Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, and I've also been to other Asian countries such as South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and then yeah, it's unfortunately it stopped there because of the pandemic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So you've been traveling solo, and both in Japan and Southeast Asia. What's the difference, you know? Do you feel like is Japan's probably easier to do it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, what's the difference? Of course, I would say when it comes to safety,
Mm-hmm.
Japan is one of the safest place that every travelers or even for solo female travelers could explore around because you don't really have to worry about your things losing your things, or you don't also have to worry about missing your train. And like everybody, like even like you go somewhere, there's definitely a place to ask a help for in Japan. But when you're uh, in other countries and other like Southeast Asian countries that I have been so far, it still make me think how crazy I was on my early 20s for traveling solo with my tripod and camera and just putting it somewhere in the road and take my own photo. Like thinking about now, that is very unsafe
Mm-hmm.
to consider, which I definitely don't recommend now. But in Japan, like of course in Japan we do have to be more considerate when it comes to taking photos, because Japanese are very considerate when it comes to taking photos, and they're very worried about causing trouble or like taking too much time on a certain place. So most of the Japanese people definitely want to do their business efficiently, quickly, and finish the job they want to do there, and then move to the different place. But I would see some travelers would definitely take their time to get their content or like the photo that they want, which is completely fine. But especially if there's no crowd. But of course, some locals especially could definitely get annoyed about it.
Mm.
Especially in some bigger places, or like public places, or like temples, shrines, especially around Kyoto. There are places there that they don't really allow putting tripods.
Oh yeah, definitely.
uh, yeah, I think it is one of the things that we have to consider or like check beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So we definitely have to, we want everyone to enjoy their visits,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Mm-hmm.
this coming Sakura season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good tip to give out to the Instagrammers or influencers who are coming into Japan. Um, what about like, there could be like by traveling around the world, or maybe somebody might have like misunderstanding of our culture. Have you ever encountered in that while you were traveling abroad?
Oh yeah, so one of the thing that I have experienced, and then they would often ask me like, "Oh, is it difficult to travel around Japan, especially if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know Japanese, especially the language barrier?"
Mm-hmm.
And often they have the image that Japanese cannot really speak English,
Mm-hmm.
which is completely, I would say, not true. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that there are a lot of Japanese people who are very happy to help around, especially if you're around in the bigger cities, touristy places like Osaka, Tokyo, and Kyoto. I would say that there are a lot of people who, like Japanese people and locals, especially, would happily to help you or even show you around, like, and recommend and like take you to places actually. And even in like places like lesser known places, or like in a countryside, even here in Okayama,
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely a lot of locals or Japanese people who would try their best, even though they cannot speak in fluent English. They will try their best to help you around, and use the words, the vocabulary they know, and give you the best hospitality and the best experience or memory that you can have here in Japan. So I would say it's definitely not it's definitely not a major problem when traveling Japan.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Well, thank you very much. Lastly, what is your goal that you want to achieve that now that you traveled all 47 prefectures? What's your next journey gonna be
Oh,
like?
yeah. Oh, my next journey. So, my next journey is to, get to know these places, the cities, the local cultures. I know we are in the same country, but I would say that northern Japan, comparing northern Japan to like southern Japan and like other regions, I would say that there are different culture, and I would definitely want to know more about the locals, the local food, especially the festivals. And I would also say like I would want to explore more about the how to say it, the local destinations that we
Mm-hmm.
could go to those places. And I would want to stick to introducing more places or like activities that we could enjoy in Japan, and invite those people who are interested to Japanese culture to explore lesser known places. And yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully.
I guess to put it in really simple words, I guess to introduce the other side.
The other side of Japan, definitely, definitely, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, I wish you all the best. And I followed you on Instagram, and
Thank you
I'll
so
I'll keep watching your journey. So
much.
thank
Okay.
you very much. Are there
Okay.
anything that you want to like inform our viewers about you at last?
So, anything that I would like to share? So definitely, oh, so okay, so especially this upcoming season, definitely I want everyone to check the sakura forecast very carefully, because these sakura forecasts are not really reliable. And especially those forecasts that are appearing online is definitely about this certain sakura called Some Yoshino. But there are different and other kinds of sakura that you can see around Japan. But if you're coming around April, or like late March and then early April, I definitely recommend downloading this app called Sakura Navi, which actually helps you to navigate the blooming or like the current situation of that area. So it will definitely help you and save you time when traveling Japan during this season. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.